and they stride on. These are the men I hear that can break your heart with one purposeful smile or smirk. They appear in travel magazines and articles, whom visiting women refer to more than once after they return to the safety of their own sofas and beds in their own countries. These long-haired Kamba men from whom they are so lucky to have escaped. Once the shock of the men are fully acknowledged, other details of the town arise. The bedecked pillars outside and inside homes, the window frames of the houses, the dainty gloves covering the hands of women, the hats of all seasons, keeping the skin of young girls from being burnished to a blue shade, and mothers who move briskly in black, unlike the gait of the opposite sex, the monks and nuns browsing in shops, the dust on eyeglasses, dust on the ends of trousers, dust on lips. I'll just move on to the elders. The elders in town have led a circular life to be alive at 60, 70, and if they are fortunate, 80. They do not speak bitterly of the years under the Chinese rule, but refer to it as though they are recalling a dream they have heard elsewhere. Every now and then an elder will mention a significant detail of his or her life, but it is inserted between the commonplace observations of a day, while we're speaking about another place so that its seriousness passes by unchecked. Many elders ask me about India and say they've heard there is much suffering and poverty in India. They ask if it is true that many people don't have enough to eat. In the course of such a conversation, an elder might add that many people in Jegu too died of starvation. He might remember Jegu as having 170,000 people before 1959, and then there being only 90,000 people in 1961. If I were to press for details and ask how the particular numbers come to be in his possession, he will offer me information. He will say he knew many people died because he was there. The elders preface their lives by speaking of time as before the Chinese and after the Chinese. The phrase they use is dhulo, which translates as a change in time. If they speak of their lives before the Chinese, they say before time changed. And if they refer to post-1959, they say after time changed. This phrase is used only when time changes from good to bad. They say they can exhale now. They did not think they would live through those years. They carried their past in them as though safekeeping for someone else. Very often they look at me and say, poor thing. They say I've lost a mother and I'm alone in the world. They feel compassion for me, for a loss that comes to all, and disregards their own extraordinary suffering. And this is, now I move to the nomad area, which is my mother's area. A thin mist settles over the mountains. It is cold. It is late August. There are women singing on the other side of the Kichu. All else is mute. The women's voices drop into the quiet afternoon and into the hollows between the two embankments of the river. Their voices are sucked on greedily by all reclining and germinating beings. The air has music. This is dhompa in the 21st century. To know the past, I rely on the memory and the experience of those who have lived here. Tibetans, I forewarn you, and I found this out after many years of questioning, are uneasy managers of their memories. Perhaps this is particular to the people here. After all, my own mother described her parents in this unusual manner. They had a nose, 2 eyes, and a mouth when I asked about them. She could not tell me more, and now I understand, now that my own mother is dead. I understand how difficult it is to speak of those you have loved. It is our love that silences our tongues. Tibetans inside Tibet held their tongues for many years because it was dangerous to speak of the past. Even now, they remain cautious. Those who are willing to speak do not refer easily to their own lives. So much focus on one's own experience is unsettling. So they arrive at their stories through a circular route. and if interrupted or asked to get to the point, they say nothing more. This year, I come with a strategy. I do not ask people about their lives. I ask for stories about other people. The results are more satisfying. There are others, however, for whom no method serves to break open their diffidence. They will not tell the story I would like to hear. And here is the dilemma. As a Tibetan who has lived outside of Tibet, I gravitate towards particular aspects of life, of history, of place that do not always feel pertinent to the narrator in the understanding of his life. The details I want to hear are not the details he chooses to give. The story that gets heard in the end is often a laborious effort and ultimately a collaboration between them and me. The elders say again and again that times are better because they can say their prayers now. They ask about the health of Gyalwar Rinpoche. They are happy to hear he is well. If he is well, they are well, they say. That, in a sense, is their understanding of politics, their demand of politics. It is an acceptance and understanding of life that I cannot quite translate into words. I do not want this life to disappear. Such thoughts come to me when I am with the nomads. Sometimes I'm filled with admiration for them and sometimes with disbelief at the ease with which they live through their difficulties. Every afternoon, I sit in the sun with a group of men or women who do not know the name of the Premier of China, but they can tell me who my great-grandfather was. They can name the lamas of the 13 monasteries in Dhompa, and they can give the total number of livestock of most of the herders in the region. If I ask them to go back in our history, as far back as they know, they say we descended from a male monkey and a mountain ogress. The monkey, an incarnate of the compassionate spirit, met and married a mountain ogress. Their union produced 6 children, and from these 6, the people of Tibet followed. Tenzin says we can trace our characteristics to the forefathers. Those of us who are more compassionate, intelligent, and contemplative inherit our nature from Avalokiteshvara, while those of us are ruddy-faced, stubborn, and lustful resemble the mountain ogress. The river Kichu flows below us, and across from us stretches the field of Yigitha, the field of letters. It is shaped like an open book. Its pages cut now in a neat quarter by the road built in recent years by young Chinese laborers. Below us is Babjamkhan, the house of the tent, where Sidomo, a general in Linkesar's army, put up his tent one afternoon many decades earlier. The Chinese play no role in the history of our land in these stories. These are my mother's people. When I'm with them, I realize I have a lot to unlearn. I look to them to complicate my notions of Tibet and Tibetans. They know where they're from. This assurance does not come to me in the same way. It does not mean we lack identity in exile and authenticity, just perhaps a lack of certainty. For is it not from the land that we get our sense of security? Nomads know the deities of their land, they know the names of the protectors and the destroyers, so their understanding of place is complete in location. This is not ours, those of us born in exile. We inherit Tibet by inhabiting the memories of our elders. We are like ghosts carrying someone else's scent. While I am here, I understand some of the complexities of Tibet, of being Tibetan. I understand what the elders mean when they speak of the old days, for it feels we are still somewhere deep in the past. I can see why my mother could not forget the land, for it is the land that dominates here. It is the land that surrounds, and nothing else. The mountains we climb with great effort, the rivers we cannot cross in the summer, the long winters that make the road forget its purpose, so that nobody leaves or enters. It is the land that envelopes us. I think I'll stop here. Thank you.
That was nice.